Hey folks, so I have fallen behind on doing certain videos because I keep getting stuff and I get excited about the new stuff and film that. And garage sale season basically ended here about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. And the last weekend I didn't get much, and the weekend before that I got a fair amount but forgot to shoot it. It's all been sitting in bags and boxes and stuff, waiting at some point to be shot. So this is basically the end of garage sale videos for this year, because I haven't seen a garage sale sign up for literally 2 weeks. It's Halloween here basically tonight. So in Canada, things get cold and you don't see a lot of weekend garage sales anymore, not outdoor ones. Once in a while indoor things pop up, but this is basically going to be it for a while in terms of garage sale stuff. Got to tell you, 2 out of the bunch of garage sales I hit had some good stuff that, you know, you don't normally see as often, and that I'm you know, pretty happy to have picked up. So I'm not going to be able to remember which ones came with which, so it's just kind of going to be random. One of the garage sales I hit, actually, I kind of missed out. I got there literally 2 minutes after it opened, or when it was supposed to open, and there's somebody else already there. Fair enough, I get that. Everybody tries to get there first. And a lady there grabbed a box of toys, which I sort of got a glimpse at and wished I didn't, because there looked to be a bunch of 70s and 80s toys in there. And she also grabbed a box of comic books, which I didn't get to look at. And I asked the owner about it, and he said, well, there's a few superhero things in there, but mostly it was like Archies and stuff like that. So, you know, not too. But what he did have were these guys right here. Early Spalding baseball mitt, basically, and it's probably 1930s, maybe 1940s. Certainly from the label, it's pre-war. These things sell really easily. And he also had this, which is probably, I'm not sure if it's an umpire's mask or just a bat catcher's mask, but either way, nice wire cage. Again, really early, it's DNR. Probably looking closer to the 1950s on that one, maybe 1940s, just post-war. But those things are great pickups. I think we agreed on 20 bucks for the pair, which 10 bucks a piece. That's, you know, easy money. You also had this, which sadly is not complete, but unbeknownst to a lot of people, this was not the first Rocket Hockey. The first Rocket Hockey came out about 2 years before this and just kind of had there was no Gretzky connection whatsoever. Those are a little harder to find. But this one is much more desirable because of the great one on the cover, obviously. Standard game. It winds up, it's missing the goalie, it's missing the actual puck itself. But the box is fairly nice, and I'm sure somebody would just want that, and it wasn't very expensive. I think it was a couple of bucks. And then this, which I didn't even know existed until I came across it, was a Smurfs, I think it's 1983, Peo right down there, sled. And I don't, you know, other than to a Smurf collector, I don't know who'd be interested in this, but I'm sure it's actually not something that's fairly common, because I've never seen another. But, you know, if you're into Smurfs, you can hang it on your wall. It looks pretty dope. Or, you know what, if you're a small enough person, or perhaps drunk enough person, this would make a great ride down a hill in the winter. So yeah, I picked that up. I think it was like $3-4 bucks. Oh, that's a bag of stuff. We can go on that later. A few other things that I got at that garage sale was this little gooseneck lamp. I actually have one in white. They're sort of Cobra head type lamps, mid-century, probably late 1950s. Great little lamps. They look really good. The one in white I actually prefer over this, but somebody else could probably, you know, paint this if you want. It's not precious enough or collectible enough to be something that, you know, you can't mess around with a little bit. But that was $5. There you go there. And this was probably the best find I had, arguably. So this would have been put on the outside of a building or part of a tin ceiling, hard to say, in 1927, because this is for the anniversary of Confederation in 1927. I can't do the math off my hand to figure out which one it was, but we had Confederation in, oh, there it is, 1867. It is a copper sheet, and I think you can just see some of the copper peeking through there. Somebody may have clear coated this one to try to preserve it, which, you know, is okay. It looks in good shape. I'm not going to bother stripping it down. It's a great piece. You got the crest of Canada on there, maple leaves all around it, and I doubt many of these survived. Probably they would have been ripped off when they took buildings down. This would have probably just been tossed out in most cases, but a real cool piece of Canadiana there. Nice little sign. And it's not too beat up either. It's in pretty excellent condition. So he wanted, I think it was $20 for that is what I paid. And it's, we paid that all day long. It's a really cool piece of Canadiana right there. Just because these happen to be sitting here, and we'll do them next. A bunch of hats. They're all pretty great. I can still sell trucker hats in the store because there's a bunch up there. I've actually sold through a bunch recently. And so I'll pick these up all day long at a couple of bucks a piece, and I think that's about what I paid. There's a Desert Storm one. What else we got here? Pappy's Fishing Contest, Dunnville Boat Club. We are in Dunnville, Ontario. So BF Goodrich, Garst, it's a farming cap. Elma Steel and Listowel, but it's a really nice red corduroy. Vicon, another farm cap. Reitzel Brothers in Eden, Ohio. And this is cool. This is a denim, nice denim cap, co-op country too. Thing about hats is 90% of them are worth between, like, you know, $10 and maybe 20. But some of them can be worth a heck of a lot of money. K-Brand was one of the big ones that usually brings in, and it usually is like weird subjects, great graphics, that kind of thing. Speaking of great graphics, Lovett's for Guns in Kitchener, Ontario. That is a good one now. It's this one, I don't know if it would have had foam in it. It's missing the foam now if it has, but still a great cap. Guys are actually restoring these hats now, so you can, even if the foam is shot completely, because not all of them came with foam, but the ones that did, if it's shot completely, guys will cut new foam and put them right in there, and they look great. There's another farm one. This one's a little bit dirty, but still. And then beer, can't go wrong with beer, right? Oh, and there's a Budweiser fishing one too, because that was in there. So yeah, pick those up. Like I said, most of them will probably end up selling in a store between 10 and maybe 20 bucks a piece because they're pretty nice. The graphics are cool on them. I might try the co-op online because the denim ones tend to go a bit more. But when you can pick them up for a couple of bucks, just, I don't know, do it because you're not going to lose out. This is a Disney. I've had one of these before. I think this summer I picked one up. And what is that? Why didn't I see that before? That's great. You're seeing this probably for the first time for me. It must have been underneath it when I opened it up originally. It's the thing itself is a Disney light up drawing desk. So basically you could practice, you know, maybe your handed animation, because essentially that's how animation was done back in the day. 1970s, it's probably made in Hong Kong, somewhere on here. But it actually says that's the Canadian one in Dunnville, Ontario. See, is there any other? Nope. Nope, doesn't say anywhere where it was made. Maybe it was made in Canada. So maybe it's a little earlier than the 70s. But this was fun. This is a fun thing to find in there. The Frankenmuth Bavarian Inn hat. Damn. That's awesome. It's got the Bavarian Inn children's menu on the back. Oh, that's great. So I did pick up some, there were a lot of small toys and a bunch of them in there coming up, but this is one. It's like a bootleg Voltron type toy. The guys collect the bootlegs too, because once you've sort of got all the toys from the line and you still love the toys, but you want to try and keep going, these are always a fun pickup. They were usually like knockoffs that were sold in like discount stores and smaller places like that. So some of the big ones that are in the box still go for around $100, so worth picking up. This was just sitting around at 1-2. It's the AFX Road Racing Handbook, and it's the complete guide to Aurora Motor Racing. It's pretty cool. It actually goes through everything in here. Sadly, it's torn at the corner. Jackie Stewart, I'm gonna have a look at Jackie. Look at him. That guy could drive. This one garage sale, the guy had a whole bunch of Hamilton Tiger Cat stuff, some older pieces, and I managed to grab one older piece. This is an old vintage Tiger Cat shirt from like 1992. Really good graphics on it. Probably won't fetch that much, but like 35, maybe $40. And then this is the interesting one. Now, he claimed that his dad knew Angelo Mosco. And Mosco's number was 68. And this is a Pussycat's gym bag. Now, he said he went to the gym. His dad went to the gym with Angelo, and Angelo gave him this. I don't know how much truth there is to that. For my American friends, Angelo Mosco is a professional wrestler in the 1960s, and also played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He was, I think he's in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Really well-known guy. But this, I don't think, you know, there's no way to prove that it was connected to him in any way, shape, or form, but I just bought it because it's a cool little bag. It looks a bit beat up, but that thing will clean up, and that is a great vintage bag. So I picked it up just based on that. What else? Really nice athletics. It's a vintage 1990s, probably, maybe 1980s Painter's cap. There's an Indians one there too. Some comics that came off of that one where I missed the whole box because the guy had another one sitting there. Again, none of these are particularly great. They are sort of along the lines of some of the Gold Key. But the thing about comics is if you're picking them up cheap enough, sometimes in some of these, the ads in them, especially toy ads, are worth getting just to you can sell those separately. I know you have to destroy a comic. Oh, Magnus Robot Fighter. That one's actually pretty dope. Somewhere, I have some original artwork from some of these Gold Keys that I picked up years ago at a collectible show. Maybe I'll dig those out and show you someday. So yeah, Career Girl Romances. Love and Leary. I wonder if that has to do with like Timothy Leary. Does that look like Timothy? No, it doesn't. Okay. Sadly, none of the Corgi cars were in there, but this is the Junior series, which had like Batman, obviously Starsky and Hutch, James Bond, Kojak. There were a bunch of different sort of like TV and superhero cars that they issued, which are great. And you can put them, this is the case for them, so it's kind of cool. Little Danish teak piece, not really worth going over. I am gonna fully admit I don't know a heck of a lot about vintage video games. I have literally boxes filled with them. Oops. And this, you know, I don't get around to testing them, and they just go into boxes, and that'll probably happen with this one too. It's like a Sega multi-controller, a regular Sega thing. I think it was a couple of bucks for the whole thing. There's a power supply on there for Sega, so that'll always come in handy for something. This is just a great, and I mean great, cast iron door handle. Probably came off of, I think the guy said he thought it came off of a church, but he had nothing to back it up with that, but still, just a cool piece. Oh, on that Tiger Cats one, he did have this, which is a press manual for the 1998 Grey Cup game that was played in Winnipeg for the Stampeders and Hamilton Tiger Cats. These were only given out to the press, and they're a little harder to find. It has all kinds of crazy stats on there that, you know, people who were, you know, presenters and things like that could dig up. You know, when you hear them say some ridiculous stat that you're like, how did they know that? Usually they have someone doing research, but they also have these booklets too beforehand. This was a great little Buddy L tow truck. It's got its hook on it, which is almost always missing. Probably 1970s. Made in Japan. I love the little stickers on there. They're just great. So again, a few bucks for that. It wasn't much more than probably $5. This I picked up because it's a wind-up box and it's brass, although I did just drop it, so I don't know if the wind-up thing will work anymore. And, you know, I got train collectors and people who collect brass, so that was worthwhile. This was a cool one, too. So, again, along the theme of Canadiana, in 1967, when Canada turned officially 100 years old, we had Expo in Montreal, and we also had the centennial celebrations. And there was a program that went around basically looking for homes that were older than, or 100 years or older, so a century home. And then you could, you got one of these signs and put it out, and that was, I don't really know what the purpose was other than to say, like, hey, I got an old home. So these are actually harder to find because they didn't stay up very long. A lot of times they were tossed out. This one's specifically to Caledonia, Ontario, which is just down the road from us here. And we're getting down to the bottom. Oh, there was a guy who, like, had a great bunch of things. So that is, like, I think some sort of Kung Fu patch. A Rush Moving Pictures 1981 patch. These are the old iron-on styles. They haven't been used. Sweet Motorhead. Yeah, another great Led Zeppelin one. And then like an earlier Harley Davidson one. So yeah, these are, none of them have been used. And also he had, now this is for the 18 plus, so you have been warned. Great naked velvet lady that you can hang on your wall. Yeah, that just says class. It says all kinds of class. When a lady walks into your house and sees that, she knows this is a classy man. So, you know, hang it with pride, fellas. And then the rest are just sort of little toy pieces I picked up here and there. A couple of Fisher-Price little guys there. He-Man figure, Sectar's figure, which is actually cool, harder to find. That's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. A couple of Transformers, and then another Fisher-Price Adventure People thing. So I think, oh, you know what I forgot? Damn. I knew I'd forget something. I bought, like, and I don't know why, pretty close to like 50 license plates ranging from the 1930s all the way through. Oh no, I forgot this bag too that I got to go through. And that is not here right now. It's sitting in the back waiting to be cleaned up. I don't normally buy a lot of license plates, but they were so cheap, and I do sell them. Not a lot of money. Most are usually, you know, in the between sort of $10 and $20 range max. Once you sort of get below the 1930s, the prices start going up quite a bit, but outside of that, that's it. So I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Random bags of toys. Guy was selling them at the garage sales as such. They're, you know, they're just that random. There looks like there is some, I think that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Could not be some Smurfs. I don't know what that little guy is. That'll be fun to go through and figure that out. An Alf, some sort of Alf toy. Looks like he's like would hang onto your pen or something like that. Another bag with Smurfs and raisins and He-Man and a few other smaller things, which I don't know what those are. I don't know what that is. Oh, some Dinky toys. Those are they Dinky? Yeah, Meccano Corgi type stuff. That's pretty cool. Don't have the tires on all of them, sadly, or any of them by the looks of it, but still worth picking up. Oh yeah, there's a tractor. That's kind of good. What else we got? One lone Star Wars Return of the Jedi figure. And yeah, so that's basically a couple of, looks like a couple of walkers on there too, which is kind of fun. I don't know if they're going to work at all, but you know, that one probably won't. You never know. So yeah, that was it. That is basically it for garage sale season. There isn't, we're at the season where the leaves have fallen off the trees, and so it gets too cold. People don't want to set up because a lot of people don't show up. I mean, I would. Even if I saw a sign in the middle of winter, I'd probably still show up. So yeah, this is, again, basically like 2 weeks worth of garage sales. Some fun stuff, nothing crazy, although those baseball pieces in that one 1927 sign, those are pretty nice scores for me. I love that stuff because that is early, and that is the kind of thing that's getting much harder to find. A noticeable lack of records. There were no records what to speak of at any of these garage sales, which is a worrying thing for me because, you know, I love my records. There you go, you can see it all around there. So that's it. There's still lots of opportunities to get stuff. Private sales, estate sales, indoor stuff still happens. There are lots of collectible shows. The collectible show season really heats up in the fall and winter seasons because the people who go to garage sales and collectors need that outlet to still go out and get stuff. So there will still be finds coming, rest assured. And anyways, I'll leave it at that, and I hope you're all able to, you know, find your own good piles of junk. Bye. So I don't know how to edit per se yet, but I have learned how to stitch one video to another. And so I'm hoping to do that with this. And if it's worked, it will be connected to the first half of the video. Now, in the first bit that I filmed, I forgot to go and get these license plates, which I got at one of the garage sales. So here they are. Basically, it's, you know, license plates for the most part don't carry a lot of big bucks. Early ones, like very early, like pre-war, can carry some big money. It's not really much of that here. In fact, the only one here that's pre-war, from what I think I remember, is this 33 from Ontario. It's roached. Still, somebody's going to want it. The thing is now guys will clean these up and repaint them, especially to put them on with vehicles of the same year. So if somebody who's got a 33 car would love to have this. You know, I paid what? I don't think I paid more than 50 bucks, maybe a bit more, for this group here. And I think there's over 70 different license plates. I don't know. I can't remember all the things because, frankly, I'm old. But yeah, we'll just flip through them real quick. Here's a 33. That's a little, I think that's a bicycle license from 74. This trailer one probably from the 90s. There's a 1968. It's actually pretty clean. 49, that's pretty clean too. 54. These are all Ontario plates. 53, that's in really good shape. Yeah, that's a later one, probably 90s again. There's the 90s. This is a matching pair, although one's in really nice shape and the other one is completely roached. You can see all the squirrels clearly made a nest in there. A nice Confederation one in pretty good shape from 67, a 61, a 55, 56, 52, another Confederation for 67. I should check, see if that matches. A 59 that's roached, another 59 that, is that a pair? That's a pair, yeah, but that one's good, one's rough. A 54, 3, 61, 5, 6, 5. Basically, this looks like it's someone's history of car ownership over the years. A nice 69, 51, black 57. There's a nice number 50. 63? Sure. 54, 74, 51, 63, 50, 64, 62, 39. I don't need to keep telling you dates because I imagine most of y'all can read. That's an interesting one. It's a later one, but it's a farm one. That one's clearly a 97, 2004, starting to get into some of the later stuff here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a 53 again, 63, 70, 70, 80, 65, 72. Get back in the old ones, a bit roach. There's a 70, 67, and a couple more. And this one's kind of neat. It's their 1970. It's a trailer license plate. That's what the T stands for. But it's still got its little trailer brake light all wired up there, and it's on its trailer frame, which, you know what, again, somebody might enjoy that. But yeah, like I said, not a lot of money spent. I don't know how many are in there. I wasn't counting. I'm sure you can go through and count it out. But again, I think we settled on, it was around less than $1 a piece. And I have said it before, and I will say it again. If you can buy any collectible piece at less than $1 a piece, or Christ, less than $2, you pick it up. You're not going to lose out any money. A lot of these will clean up nicely. Some won't. And will be priced accordingly, but I'm going to say, you know, average around $10 a plate. So, you know, can't really go wrong with that. As I said, this is probably the last garage sale video of the season because it is getting cold out here. And you don't see too many once the winds of November blow in. So, yeah, I hope y'all are able to find some good stuff, and yeah, keep on picking. Bye.